Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay. Let's do one thing. You can keep your mics open, so it's easy for discussion. You don't have to open your mics again and again. It's easy for you. Okay. Uh, First thing, let me. Hmm. Uh, is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So, since you all are beginner, and I don't expect, but yeah, do you have any idea about APIs, or have even heard about it? APIs.
Yeah,
Have you?
I've heard about it, but not
Yeah,
the.
I've heard about it.
Okay. Okay.
Not
So, do you know how APIs work, or what is the inside thing, or why even they are used?
Not exactly.
Okay, not exactly. Have you tried to know it? I guess may not. Okay, let's start. Okay, uh, I'll just give you a brief idea what you will do. But before that, I'll make want to make sure that you know what are APIs, because that's the basic and the foundation for any backend system. Okay, at the start, I said right. Every software has two parts, two components mainly: front end and a back end. So these are two different servers running, two different. You can think of it like two different entities running. Suppose the front end, which all of you have done at the start because it's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, is the front end app, and this is the back end app. Suppose it's written in any language: Python, JavaScript, Java. How do you think this front end and back end will talk with each other? Because those things are written in different language, right? What do you think these things talk? Like, if you want to build something, how will you build something that those two things talk with each other? You can say anything, any random answer is acceptable here.
there must be a chain of communication or some server connected between those
Yeah,
both things.
there needs to be communication. Okay, you're coming. Others? Anyone? Any random idea?
Yeah, it's necessary for them to be linked to each other.
Yeah, necessary. Okay. You guys have gotten an idea of front end, right? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So what it does is that the front end is rendering the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So if some of you just before starting get heard about the topics, right, of React and other frameworks, right? So what those frameworks do basically, they render HTML, CSS, and JavaScript together and make function calls. Function, what is function? You just need to know what is function. Function is something that takes an input and does the tasks. That's it. So a function from the front end makes a call to the back end, and the back end responds something. That way they talk to each other. It's something like that. I'll ask, suppose I ask you something like, okay, give me this thing, and you respond back with something. I don't know what you are, how you'll do it. Just give me that response. Okay, I have done that. So how do you know that front end and back end is talking with each other? So the best way I can show you. Okay, recently I've seen a good thing that, so you'll get a good idea. Every one of you has used music streaming apps, right? Have you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll just show you how front end and back end talk. Let me just place anything. Obviously, I'll not play. Okay. I hope it should work. So this is the page. That's how you go to the inspect page. I hope you know what is inspect page, right?
Yeah.
The Chrome developer tool.
Yeah.
Now, in this, there is a network column. Every network call. So every call from the front end and back end mostly happens through this network. They call through network and they send a response. You can see that so many things are loading, right? I haven't done anything. Let me just clear it. I am not touching. I haven't doing anything. See, these things are loading. You
Mm.
can clearly see that there is something that is making a call at the front end. Some functions are written by the developer. Okay, after every 5 seconds, make a call. After every 10 seconds, make a call. And I think there is one call. See, I haven't done anything. I am just moving my mouse. That's it. And it is making a call. And where it is making a call, it is making a call to this URL automatically because it was written in the front end to send requests to this URL. When you make a request to this URL, you get a response. You get a response in this. So mostly API responses happen in this way. You send a request, you get a response in a JSON or whatever format that suits you. So this is the format that you get in return. So I guess if I play, I'll also get the music because it should load, right. So basically what happens when I click on the play button, a function calls to the server. Okay, the user is playing the music. First, give me the music. So the request that is made will fetch the music from the servers to your local browser. Then it will play the music. Let me play. Uh, it's not playing. I hope the music is loaded here. Uh, See the preview also. Everything, the image, text, everything is loaded at the every time a network call is made. I hope the music should be here. The I haven't tried it myself, but yeah. Okay, these things are making request. What is get and what is post? I'll make you understand that part also. Mm, can I get that music link? Is it this? Let me see. No, this is a image. Did they forward to send? Let me play it and see. Play starts. See, that's how you see the network call and just dive into the software, like what it is actually doing. That's how you diagnose it. Like it's not a single only way. There are many other ways, but it's the base. Like okay, let me just go to it and see. Okay, that's. I guess they have removed it. I think there the MP4 file should be here.
Yeah, yeah. Can you just give fetch etc. that around instead of everything
Yeah, yeah.
filters?
Sorry.
The
Yeah,
filters you can just click it
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about that. See, you guys also will. Yeah, I guess it's copy it, link, and paste it here. I guess it should load. Yeah, it loaded the music. Thanks for helping. Yeah, see, that's how you learn. You help each other. So this is the music. I don't have to play it right now. You can also try it on your laptop or computer this way. See, all other songs are loaded. This is their URL. You just have to make copy. I didn't copy. Copy, paste, and before. See, music is loaded. You don't have to do anything extra. So yeah, you can see that all the things, music, images, text, everything is dynamically rendered over the network through API calls. The front end at the start is not having, because if everything is given at the front end, suppose all the music is in the front end, then the things will crash. So to make that lightweight, what is done is like all the heavy things like images, text are normally at the front end, but to make it dynamic, they are kept at the back end. So text, images, the musics, videos you see on YouTube, everything's are kept at the back end in big servers. In the front end, mostly has functions. They have the particular placeholders. Suppose this is a placeholder. If you see at the front end, this may not have this name. This may have another name. Suppose like uh, album title. So this is the album title. It's in the front end. So but when you load it, it changes dynamically. It changes. It makes a function call over the network, fetches the data from the server. Okay, like okay, this is the URL that the user has clicked. This is the music album. Give me this music album's detail. So the server will send all the details of the music album, and it will be rendered dynamically. If you go on other tabs, those things also will render dynamically. So that's how the front end and back end are basically connected. But I I don't expect you to learn everything at the front, at the start only, or even at the like basic things. It will take time to understand those things or develop that intuition, like how these things actually work. So this is the front end, this is the back end. So if you want to talk with those things, you need a gateway, and that gateway is the APIs. Those gateways, the API. So how do you make an API to talk? So let me show you. I hope there is nothing in my VS Code. I haven't checked. Okay. Uh, I'll do one thing. I'll just create a project. There is no. Okay. Okay. Since every one of you are familiar with Python, Python is the thing that I'll make the servers with. You all are familiar with Python, right?
Yes.
Please do speak.
Yes,
It's not
yes,
like
yes.
I'm only speaking. Please do speak. Okay. I'll just name it server. You can name it anything. Server.py. Okay. Now in development, there are two things. Not two things. Basically, there is only one thing. You either do it in a big way or you do it in a simpler way. Since the servers are in Python, the one way can be that I write every code in Python from start to end. In that way, the code will be bigger, maybe not understandable, and it will make me crazy because it's not feasible, because there are thousands other things that needs to be taken care of while writing anything. So to ease that out, what we have made are frameworks to use. So what you can think of a framework is like, we took a language, we made uh, tools that are necessary to make that server or any application using that language. So when you use a framework of any language, suppose uh, you think of a React is a JavaScript framework. So what does it mean? That React is written in JavaScript, the base is JavaScript, but when you write React, it will uh, make things on its own end. You'll write something in React, it will convert those things into JavaScript. You don't have to write the JavaScript on your own end, right? Base is same. The syntax is also same kind of. So in our case, for writing the APIs, there are mostly two good choices for writing backend in Python. There are other languages support too. For Python, there is like one is Flask that we have used. in Mad1 project because that's the mandatory stack we have to use. Another lightweight framework is Fast API that I'll be using. It's lightweight, and why it's better, I'll show you. Next is Django. Django is not particularly API based language. It's kind of a full-fledged framework. You can have both front end and back end in Django, but that's talk of another day. Django Flask. Maybe there are other things. I'm not recalling it at the moment. Yeah. So if you want to get good marks in Mad1, this is the thing you need to learn. If you want to make development production based things, this is the thing you need to learn. Both the things work in the same way. So for most thing of any project, any Python based project, is to start your virtual environment. Why do you need a virtual environment? We'll come to that point. Let me just start with. Okay, do you have your computers on, everyone?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Just type
Yeah.
with me, right? Just type along. It would be good for you only, just not just seeing the screen, not understanding anything. Okay. So the command, if you are using Windows, okay, in that case you can switch off your mic. Suraj,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait a
no,
minute.
no, you, yeah, okay. So to create a virtual environment, the code is this. You can just type it along me. Mm, mm, okay. So for any Python, okay. So for any Python code to run, you need this start Python. I hope that's all of you know, right? If your Python version is different, try doing Python 3. It is either Python or Python 3. It works everywhere. M to make VNV is the command to make VNV, and this VNV is basically the name. I'm trying to name it VNV. I can also name it anything. I say dev, and this is created a VNV. What is this? Yeah. So basically, why do you need a VNV? So in Python or any project, while you make, you need some dependencies. You need things. I'll show you what are the dependencies, right? You need some dependencies. You need some things to install, right? It's just not like Python will do everything. You need other things also to make the servers, other things. So when you install something on your device, you may forgot it, right? So another time, okay, for this project, it's working fine. You have installed everything on your system. It's installed globally on your system. So next time when you start any other Python project, so what it does is like the same dependency if installs, the version difference may occur. Suppose currently you are using Python 3.10 and for another project you did 3.12. So when you install it, the project will crash and everything will break. Even the project you started earlier, that will also break. The project you are doing, that will also break. So to avoid that, we generally create a virtual environment, which is a good practice because whatever dependencies you install are installed in this virtual environment. Your other whole system doesn't get impacted with it. Everything. If you have used Python, you have heard about pandas, right? Have you? Pandas, NumPy. NumPy you have heard, right? NumPy,
Yeah,
Matplotlib.
Numpy I've heard.
Yeah, those things are like dependencies basically. So those things are installed globally, but if you install them in the virtual environment, it gets installed in the virtual environment. So you don't have to hamper anything in your system. So, so now the virtual environment is created, but it's not activated yet. If I now install anything, it will be installed on my system. I have to make the virtual environment activate. So, oh, okay, I'm using a PowerShell. Is every one of you using Windows or any other software? Is there any Linux person? Everyone Windows.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Everyone is
Yes.
having Windows ecosystem. Okay. What happens in generally in PowerShell? Yeah. Okay. I'll first show you the code. How to activate a virtual environment. Its source, name of your virtual environment. Okay. My virtual environment name is dev source bin. Okay. Sorry, my bad. It's bin. I'll have to see what's the
Yeah,
file.
activate.
Yeah, yeah, activate.
I,
Scripts
I
and then
actually
activate.
use I actually
Scripts and
use
activate.
Linux, so I forgot.
Just we give the directory directly.
Scripts. There's activate. Activate. I think it should give an error. Yeah, it should it give an error. Uh,
Yeah, that's for
that
Mac, I think so. Source is for Mac. Just
yeah, that's issue with PowerShell I faced. I'll move to the command
yeah,
CMD.
we'll be
That
giving this the command. So actually, it's for Windows.
yeah, do you know that? Like that's a problem I face in Windows, but in Linux I don't face that issue. Linux is handier. Do you know that how to fix it? Or do you
Just a
use
minute.
any other command?
I think so. Just you have to give the path and activate. We have Python, I think so. Just you have to add
Mm,
Python before that.
no,
Yeah.
Python is for Python. This
I
is
think so.
a separate thing.
Just just give the path alone. Dot slash dev. Yeah. Remove the source. Remove the source.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I think so. I don't know. I just gave it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that worked. That worked. Thanks, man. It saved. It worked. Okay. You guys can see, right? There, here was nothing. Here we have some name in a brackets. So that what actually means that your virtual environment is active. So now it's activated. I'll just clear the other things. You guys also need to learn the Linux and other how to use terminal because that's an important skill when you come to development because in development everything will be in production, so mostly in production if you use, so in that case Linux is the software you have to use, but you can also use Windows, that's not an issue, but if you have the knowledge of terminal, bash, other things, that's a great skill to learn. So okay, I'll install the framework. So the command to install is pip install. I'll be using fast API.
Could you remove your cursor, please? Yeah.
Okay, I gave a wrong command. Pip install fast API. Okay, it's installed. Okay, so now the fast API is installed. So how do I make the servers? So for that I need to import from fast API. See these things. If you know Python, you will understand. But I'll also make you understand what these things are actually doing. So I have installed Python fast API, right? So fast API, since I am in a virtual environment, the fast API should be included here in the virtual environment. It should be included here. So let just go into that. This here's fast API. Yeah, you can see that whatever in dependencies I install right now inside the virtual environment, while keeping this thing activated, everything will be installed in this directory. This is my virtual environment. Everything I install will be installed here. Let's see in real time. Uh, which library is not there? Let me install and show you. Matplotlib is not there. I'll show you. Pip install matplotlib. Matplotlib. Is the name correct? Matplotlib. You can see, right? The folders got added. Everything you do now will be added here. The folders, everything. Oh, it's still installing. See, the folders are getting added. This all the folders are basically dependencies that you will be requiring while making the project. So in development, the most annoying thing is that dependency issues. The your all dependencies. Suppose I installed this. I've installed this version of this. So after 1 week or 2 week, I start the project again. That time the dependencies doesn't run. So that's a very frustrating thing. So for that you need to keep a track whatever dependencies you have installed and what are their versions. See, if you don't know the version, you just type random, like whatever I have written, matplotlib. So what it will do is that it will install the latest version of matplotlib. But you may have used two versions earlier. In that case, it might give an error. So to track that, what we do is generally make a requirements.txt file. So what that txt file does is that it keeps a track of all the dependencies that you have installed. So in future, suppose these virtual environments get deleted, you have lost it, you don't know. So in that case, how will you run the file? You don't know what are the dependencies you don't know what are the recipe you have used to make your dish, right? So that will be very disastrous. So to track that, at least minimize the risk, you make a requirements.txt file. So how does it look? I'll show you. So for that, I guess the command is, see, I also don't remember the commands. If phrase, I guess this should give me the list.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this, when you do pip phrase, you will get all the list of the things you have installed. So, but right now that these things are in the terminal. I need to save in a txt file. I mentioned it like it's requirement.txt. So I'll do that. Do pip dot phrase, whatever the result is there, append that result into a requirements.txt file. Requirements.txt file. What this command does, it will do pip phrase this thing, and after that, it will not print this result. What will do is that take this result and save it in this requirements.txt file. I guess it should work. Yeah, it made requirements.txt. Yeah, this is the file. So when you do it, please do this step so that you don't lose track of your project, because during the Maven project, see, this requirements.txt file is sorry, this virtual environment is a very big file. It will install all the dependencies. So it will be like it will be around 200, 300, 500 MB. It can go up to GBs also. It can happen. So in Mad one, you have to delete that virtual environment. You can't upload it in the, like when you submit it, you can't submit this. You have to delete it. So how do track it when you run it again? So this requirements.txt is the best thing. Whenever you uh, want to start the project again from scratch, you can just install all the dependencies from this requirements file. That way it will install everything. So now everything is done from fast API dot, it's imported. Now I'll create the app instance. So app is equal to fast API. I hope it is. Yeah. So now I have what is this? This is basically objects and classes. If you know what are objects and classes, then it's very good. You'll understand. If you don't know, don't get yeah, what do you say, intimidated by it. You'll understand once you understand what are classes and object. Once you do object-oriented programming, you can think of it like I am making this fast API server. I am creating my object and I am giving it a name app. That's it. If you don't know what is object-oriented programming, if you know object-oriented programming, what it does is that it is taking this fast API, uh, what do you say, class, and from that class, it is what do you call, instantiating that object. It is creating an object. App is an object of fast API class. It is creating that. So basically, it's making the server. That's it in simple language. So now my server is created. I want to okay. I'll let me just make this. I'll come to that part. What this thing does. Okay. So now my servers are done. I want to run my servers. See, now I haven't written anything, right? If I run this file, python server dot py, it should not give anything. Yeah, it didn't give anything because there was no print, right? In Python, if you give any print or give command to run anything, it will give something. But in our case, there was nothing to run. What is this? I'll come to it later. But so now I want to make it as a server. I don't want to make it as a Python file. I have to run it every time. I want to make a server that stays alive, that listens to me basically. So, uh, okay, there is no UBCon. Okay, UBCon is a great thing since I'm using Python. UBCon is basically a server. Flask has its own server. UBCon is a server that will constantly run this file. It will run the server.file on this UBCon's own server, and it will listen. Okay, now the issue is gone. So let me just first run it. I'll show you what are post and pull. Okay, so this is a very simple server. Very simple server. It's it's not even server, but yeah. Okay, since is here, let me try running the file. It should create a server now. Python server. Let's see. Okay, see the output is different, right? From the first. Previously, it gave me a simple output. That's it. It ran the file. That's it. But now, when I did Python server.py, it actually created a server. The UBCon is keeping this file alive, and it will listen to this file. So it has also gave me a link, right? So what does that link do? This is basically the URL that we all use. So now if I go to this URL, it gave me an output, right? This is the URL link. This is the post, and I it gave me an output, whatever it's written here. So I'll just close it. The command to close a server is Control C. In case you don't know, so I'll just change it to anything. I'll run the server again. Now it's the old one, right? Now if I refresh, it should change. It changed. So now I'll come to this point. What this thing does. So the file starts from here. So it's a very basic if statement. If you go in depth, there is so many other things, but on a higher level, it basically does this. In Python, the variable name if has always every time has this value. So when you do if this equal to main, name is equal to main, it will every time render for true. So when it is true, do this. If this is true, do this. So it will import UVCon, and UVCon will run the app. What is this app? App is this instance, fast API. It will run this. So now, what are this? These are basically routes. What are routes? Suppose you go into um, Instagram. Suppose Instagram. This is Instagram, right? This is the URL. Now sign up. See, some things are added here, right? So what are these? These are called routes. Routes are basically it's a navigation for your URL. So when you go on a website, when a user clicks, you want the users to go on this site. So now Suppose I have gone to a slash login. So what does it mean? Like go to a login page. So now if a user comes to your website, do you want him to get access for everything on a single URL? Not right. You want like, okay, if he's going to a URL slash log, if he's going to login, take him to a login route, make him login. If he's a new user, go to a sign up page, let him sign. If I go to a login page, see the URL is changed. This is basically the router. Routes are basically to make your flow of uh, functions easier. So in our case, I haven't mentioned many things, right? I have just given a single slash. So your URL is the base URL, and after that slash, everything that comes after it, you write it. So right now, I have given it like after this URL, if there is a slash, if the user has given a slash after that URL and nothing, do this function, run this function. If you go to slash, it will run this function. I'll write another route app. So basically, these are called decorators. You'll learn it about it later, but basically, you can just think of it like a command you are giving to the servers, like whatever request is coming. Okay, this is my I have created another route app.get route. So app is basically your app instance, or how do you create it? That will depend. But at the start, you can just think of it something your URL you are redirecting it. So whenever a user uh, clicks on this URL, run this function. That's the base high level idea. So I have created another route slash dev. So this URL slash dev. So what I want, whenever a user go to this URL, I'll write any function. Hello, mm, day one. Okay. So I have made changes. I have since I have made changes, I have to start the server again because those changes are not updated. You can also do that so that the server updates on its own. But for now, I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you also how to fix that later. Okay. Right now, this is my base URL. This is my base URL where the server is running. Right. So this slash means there is nothing. It is called the home. In easy language, it's called the home or the base URL. So it's basically whenever someone does simply clicks on this link, it will take the by default it will take him to this URL. This is the base, and everything that comes after you write after it, it will show. So right now, it is the base URL. If I click here, it will just give this. But if I write slash dev, the new route that I have written, and keep enter, it will give me a different output. You can see that, right? So that what routing means. Routing means you are redirecting the user to different URLs based on your functionality, what function you want to fulfill from the app. So here you can see get. What is get? So in APIs, prominently there are 4 5 things: uh, get, post, update, API, HTTP. So I forgot the names. Okay, this let me just get, post, update. Yeah, that's a good URL. Okay. Uh, so basically, there are 5 major things: get, post, put, patch, delete. But most cases we use get and post. For now, just focus on these two things: what are get and post. So these are the type of request you make on a server. So right now, I have made a get request. So what does it a get request means? Get request means that if I click on this, give me this. Simple. If I click on this language, this route, run this function and return me something. That's it. In post, what you do is you give something while making the request. While making this URL request, you give a input along with the URL. Okay, take this from me, go to the server and bring something. So when you load a website, you are making basically a get request. If I load this website, it's making a get request to server, and the get request is sending this whole website. But when I go into login, I'll enter something. I'll enter this. So everything is clear, right? Okay. Now, if I click on login, it didn't make any. Okay, Instagram is secure, I guess. It is not making a request. Is something in this case here. I'll show you the numbers. Is it should make a get post request? Crazy. Everyone has disabled. Wow. Everyone has disabled post request. Okay. Basically, what a post request is means like it's kind of a form. In this login form, you have inputted a phone number and a password. So what it does, like, it takes this in username and password, makes that go to that URL and sends that your data to the servers. Servers validate that you are a valid user, and it returns your home page. Like you have logged in and you are now able to access your account. That way things work. So that's what get and post basically means. You'll understand more when you actually try it. So this is a get. This is a also a get. Let me show you a post. Basically, in browser, generally you can't make a get request. Else I would have shown you. For that, you need another separate thing. What we call are like API testing agents. I'll not call them agents. Let me see. There are a few API testing tools. One is Postman, another is Thunder Client. Thunder Client is inside VS Code, easily accessible. I'll use that. I don't know why it's uninstalled right now. Okay, it's installed, Thunder Client. If you install any extension, it will show here. Okay, so it will do all the things that basically whatever our browser was doing, but it's for testing purpose. Mostly you'll be using any API testing tools to test your backend systems, because you can't always go to the browser and paste your URL and test it, right? You need something where you can actually test it in an isolated manner. Okay, I'm making a get request to this URL. Simple. Hello dev. It gave me an output, right? Just do hello dev. See, it's changed. Now let me make a post request. How should I make it? Let's see what suggestion I get. Uh, app dot post. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, app dot post dash. So when you want to make a get request, type get. When you want to make a post request, type post. Type post. Let's see what it does. Return hello. Okay. It's not necessary that every time you make a post request you have to send something. You can also make it a get make it work as a get request also, but we'll not do it. We'll try sending some data over the post. Let me see what should we send. Mm, Basically, let me send username and password and see and make it send user verified. Mm, Okay, let's take user equal to def. If it won't work. Okay, anyone has any idea what do you want to how you want to test the post? Send something and want it to return something. Anyone?
Sorry.
Uh, any idea like what you want to how you want to create the post? Like what data you want to send and what return you want to get from the servers?
Mm, just you can type on a keep an input box and just type a name and the request received successfully. Just you can return that.
Yeah, that can be done. Okay, let's try it. Mm, let's make it a simple. Uh, every function will have a return, obviously. A return what? Let's define that. Let's write a simple function. So what I can do? mm, mm, Wait a second. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Uh, um, a simple thing. Let us do that. Whatever I'm sending, just return me that thing. That works. I'm sending. Suppose I'm sending name. Just return me that name. That is dynamic, right? It can't be hard coded like this, right? Hello, day one. It can't be hard coded like this. So whatever I'm giving, just return me something. Let's see how to implement that. So, sorry, that's with my mouse. Mm, is Pydantic installed? Okay, I'll make you understand what these things are. Once I'm done with. Okay, I'll make this an async function because I'll. Do you know what is async function, right? Or do you not? Hello, little bit. Others?
No.
So basically, what an async function does is like generally what happens in Python. Python is a in Python every command is run line by line. So this command will run first, then this command, then this and this. It is not like that. This command after that this command. It won't run this way. Python runs line by line. So in this case, suppose this is a function, it runs. This is a function, it will run. It will make a computation and it will give a result. So in this case, until and unless this function is completed, this function won't run because this is before this, right? So that makes a hassle in running the servers. So to avoid that, we write async function. What does async function does that? Okay, take this function, run it, but you don't have to give the solution right now. Let me just go to the other function. I'll also run that. And once you are done with your computation, just give me this. That's what basically async function does.
I
So,
guess in simple terms, you want to say what synchronous and asynchronous means. So
so
let's consider
synchronous
you're
means
doing,
we are running one by one.
yeah,
Asynchronous
yeah,
means it is running in
multiple
parallel
multiple
and
things. Yeah.
not parallelly means not multiple things. It's running, but I am also moving forward. And once you are done, just return me the result. That's it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So async def read, it's giving a payload. Payload. Okay. So payload is a term that we use for post request. So whatever we send through a post, we call it payload. So I am sending something. So that means it is a payload for this URL or this post request. This is a URL. Mhm. Okay, let me just give it a name. Name is to- so this will be like understand. Okay, I just run the service again. Okay, now I've created a post request. So what does this post request actually do? So it makes an async function read dev. This is my payload. Payload has an object item. So whatever it's coming from the network, it's I have given it a name item. So now this is a variable. So what I'm doing is like whatever is there in payload, inside that there is an name thing. Just return that name. Since it's both written name, it might get confused. I'll just def. So it's easy for you to understand what these things are. These things are distinct. These are not the same thing. So now what is Pydantic and base model? So basically, this is done to define your payload structure so that for this server, it knows what the how does the payload should look like. So right now, suppose I am made a I have made an API for to accept string alphabets, and someone just keeps on sending numbers. That way, my system will break, right? So to avoid that, I use this base model from Pydantic. So what it does that it makes sure that my payload is of the particular input only. If this is not the same input, it will show error to the person side who is sending that. Suppose you are sending a post request and your format is different from this base model's format, so it will show you error. I'll also show you what error it shows. So this is the basically the function of this line. In case you want to know that, you'll understand it once you practice on your own, right? So yeah, I'll want to make this payload, and this is okay. This is fine. This is running. Let me just make a post request. So from here you can just see there are a bunch of other things for our most tasks. Get and post does all the things. You don't have to go on the things. Okay. Make a post request on this. So first, just try running this. I think it should give an error, but let's try. Yeah, it gave an output like, okay, your input is missing. Field requirements. Why the field requirements? Because I have mentioned it in the base model. This is the fields, and this is this format of it. I have to make this particular name, else it won't accept it. In post request, you can make the payload in this formats, but most common is JSON. JSON is basically in Pythonic language. You can just think of it as dictionary for your understanding, but that's not how you should do it. JSON forms under two curly brackets. So first is the name. Whatever I have given the input, it should be like name. It shouldn't be any other thing except name. Name, suppose given Nilgiri. Now I make a post request. Let's see if it gives error. If it gives error, don't say anything to me because you'll learn it by mistake. Okay, it gave me Nilgiri. Now if I type another name, Ni, it gave that response. So now here I have mentioned its name string. So it should be a string format input. Now if I send post request of 1 2 3 numbers, it will give error. It will give error. Input should be a valid string because I have mentioned it in the my server code that it should be this thing only. Don't accept anything other than this. Okay. So what is this part? This is the name of the variable, you can say in easy term. This is the name of that variable, and this should have this value. So this is the name. This should be of type string, and this name will have this name attribute. So now if I just change this name attribute to name, it won't accept. See, it won't accept field required because you have named the name field wrong. It should be this field should be named as name unless it won't accept your input. So now it's working fine. So this is the main two things, get and post. If you understand what a get and post does, you'll understand everything in your development journey. Now I can make anything now. Suppose I have like two things other num number number and its value is int. So I want to accept a number payload as item. Payload item, that means this whole object. This whole object is my item. And inside this item, I have a name. Now I want to add a number. Suppose 5. But I haven't written my code logic yet. I have to write the logic of the. So now, let me just write number. Number is payload dot number. So whatever the payload has number, the basically the number attribute, take that number, save it in a variable number. Let just not name it number, else you'll get confused. I'll say num. It's basically a variable that stores this value. And let's do something on some operations on it so you get an idea. Num. Let's say square. Square is good. No. So take the number from payload, save it in a variable number, and do square and return the square. Return square. Should it give error? Let's see. I think it should not, but let's see. I'm not sure. Control C. This is a hassle. We have to fix it. Let's see. I think it should work. If not, yeah, it worked. So right now, not only it gave me returned me the name, it also returned me the square. Whatever I have made made it program to change the number, it should return me this. So yeah, you can just play around with it. It will give you output. So how do you know that these things are working fine? So this is basically how you track it. So there are various status codes. These things are called status codes. There are 200, 300, 400, and 500 status code. But for you, anything except 200, that means error. Just given a high level idea, anything that is other than 200, that means something is wrong in your server. You have to fix it. If it is coming 200 okay, or 201, anything that starts with 200, that means your server is working fine. But anything except that, suppose here it is giving 422 error, it might be 401, or might be the famous 404. I guess you have already, everyone have faced that 404 error. Basically it's error. You can also study about those errors in your free time. What does each status code means a different thing, but at a high level idea, it means that you are having an error. Simple language. If it is 200, it's working fine. Mm, okay, now if I suppose if I give try sending a string, it should give an error. Yeah, now it's given an unprocessable entity because my server is not accepting this thing. It is not allowed to do accept string error from this number field. It should only send numbers. See, now it's working fine. So that's the main thing while working with servers. You need to know when to make a get request, when to make a post request. There's a very basic thing, and if you understand this thing, your most of the things are done in development. So right now, you have seen that I have to constantly start the server, make it work, and whatnot. So let's fix that. I'll add debug is equal to true. So move this from the end. So what does that debug is equal to true means? Even I am making changes, I don't have to reload the servers again and again. It will auto reload it. Means start the server again. Suppose I just make any change. Okay, I'll first have to make the server understand that I have made the changes. That's a hassle. You all have to face it. Okay, issue. Then got an exception. I got that. It should be debug is equal to true, right? What is this? Let's search. The best thing to learn also is to search uh, chat GPT documentation, whatever works for you. Once you go through the documentation, you'll understand so many things that you won't understand from any lectures. Debugging, let's see that Ubiquan name. Mm, yeah, in most things it's now also called the dev mode. Dev mode. Okay, leave it. Why waste time on chat GPT? Um, Git run on debug mode. Uh, you all can just have the Copilot installed. It's free, freely available right now. So okay, host is able to. Mm, yeah, it added some lines, but okay, I think it should run now. Sorry, it's UP gone. What? Okay. Yeah. See, even I make mistakes. Everyone make mistakes. We just have to learn from it. Yeah. Now it's running. You can see that the URL is changed. So this starts for entity. You can call it as host number. What is host and what is port? You can Google about it. But yeah, you can configure these things from here. This is the port number. So you can run your port on any number. Basically, there are few famous port numbers. But yeah, you can run it on any 4-digit number if that's available. If not, you have to fix it. So yeah, now the debug is on. Now if you make any changes, it should reload. Let's see. I'll just remove the square. Is it? No. Let's see. Okay, the things are not updated. In development, the most time you will spend in debugging rather than just making any actual changes or any feature update. This is frustrating. Mm, what? We are just discussing about the APS. You can open your mic and speak if you want to. You don't have to write in the chat. Let's see what it does. It did almost the same thing. Have I made any mistake? This is frustrating. Oh, okay, you can see that I have removed the square, but it's still giving the output right. So in this case, I haven't made this a route secure. So in development, if you start, you make what do you say, junior level, junior dev kind of mistakes. You don't make it secure. Right now, if you have this link, suppose this link is hosted anywhere, you can just click on this link and you can just actually get an output. There is no security, right? If I click on this, you'll give an output. Suppose right now the data is not sensitive. Suppose it's a login data. Even if I give a simple login and it gave me a response, that means I can track everything from your account, right? If I give, I'll show you. What's the best way to track that? Post request is very okay. That way. This should be yeah. This is a captcha. Do you know what is a captcha, right? Everyone, or are you guys slept already? My
Yeah.
everyone, others, are you guys awake, or is
Yes,
it
we
getting
know
too
about
boring?
that.
Is it
Yes,
getting boring?
yes.
I'll just show you. So,
What are you doing actually?
we are actually discussing about APIs.
Okay.
Do you have knowledge about it? You have joined right now, right?
Yes, yes.
So, are you in foundation or diploma level?
I'm in degree level.
Oh, that's you are above me also. So, that means you know it, right? That means you know it.
Yes,
Even
I
you
know.
know it more than me.
You are also in degree level, right?
No, I'm in diploma level.
Okay.
How do I change the? Do you
What you're
know?
trying? What you're trying?
I am trying to move this panel to this side. Why is it appearing at the bottom? I want to check.
Uh, I think it's sidebar navigation. The three dots on I think so.
I guess this.
Mm, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, it works. I'll show you. Uh, During inspect, if you want to check where is the particular element, just hover over it. After clicking this, just hover over it. It will take you to that particular piece of code or the thing is there. So this is the image. If you hover over it, you'll get the image link. So what is this thing? This is basically this image only, but it's to make it secure. It's converted into binary. In this case, it's binary language. Most of the times, images are secured as base 64. It's stored as a base 64 format, and so that it's becomes tough. It's still not that secure, but some sort of secureness to they want to add. So if you won't understand what's written, even I don't understand. If I just click reload, you can see that the code will change. It's so laggy. Is it my internet that is slow? Is it not loading actually? Let me see. Do I have any other? Yeah, this one should be easy for you. Is my internet slow? I just not loaded. Oh God, is it getting that? Yeah, I guess it's perfect. So yeah, so this is a URL. So what it does is like the URL makes a GET request on this. I'll show you the network tab so you can get an idea. So if I reload this page, it will make a GET request to this particular URL. So what this URL does is that it refreshes the image. So if I just reload it, it made a GET request. It made a GET request to this URL, and it has sent me some response. See, this is the headers. Basically, request URL. Make go to this URL make a get request, and what a response it got. Basically, it got this similar image, but it's in binary format, so you can't understand. Our browser handled it and it converted into readable format. Other thing it has also sent. If you can see, that's not here. Yeah. So basically, what it does, every time you reload, it will make a request and it will just give you a new output. So that's why it's not secure, because I am able to get the data easily. Even I can save this image easily because I have the response. See, every time I do it, I get a new response. So this is in the browser side. Now I'll just run it in inside a API client, make a get request to this URL. Let's see what response I get. Okay, error was on the server. Okay, do I have Postman? Let me see. Okay, I have Postman. Postman is another tool, just that does the same thing only. Let me see what response I get. See, the same image. This is the image that I'm getting. If I make another request, the image should change. This is new. I can save that response. Basically, this is a Postman thing. I basically did the same thing with code. Where's my GitHub? Where are you on the GitHub? Yeah, basically, I have just written the code for this thing only to save the image. So yeah, can do it. What are the other things that are coming? Yeah. See, every time you reload and these things works, it will give you the response. So that's why you want to make sometimes this thing secure. How do you make it secure? You want add layers. Okay, whatever response he's sending was verified. Whether is it of safe type, whatever I mentioned, like only accept if the object has string, name attribute as string, number as int, any other format, don't accept. It's not like convention. Now suppose if I change it, I change the variable, I swap it. I can do whatever I want. I am the developer. I am the god. It is for the server. So I'll just make it a string. Now first reload since it didn't run the debug mode. I'll go to this. If I run this, whatever was our previous input, it gives an error. Oh, sorry, the URL is wrong. Okay, if I make a request to this, oh, it gave an output. Okay, it's a get. Sorry. If I make a post request, it gave an error because that's not it was expecting. It got changed. So now name is number. Name is number. Number is string because that's what I defined. Whatever you do define, that will become the ground truth. Now it gave me an output. Basically, it gave this thing only. It didn't perform the operation on this, but yeah, you understand, right? What does this get and post request does? Are you guys sleeping?
No, just saying, just saying.
Yeah. So that's great. Uh, okay. So I have planned that model thing. Will it be okay right now if I start? That's a very cool
No, we are
project.
just loading the model, right?
Huh?
Just we are loading the model, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
since like I have worked with the model, I have made it end-to-end solution of it. But right now, if I give, you won't, maximum people won't understand. But I'll still make a
instead,
good
instead you
model.
can what you can do is that instead of going everything, just what the model does, how we are incorporating the model to be
Yeah,
that's enough, right? We know how
yeah,
the API works right now, right? How the post call and get call works. So
yeah.
that has been sorted out, right?
Okay.
So we can just tell how the model is just incorporated. From that, it's enough, I think so.
Yeah, 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 that would be great. So, okay, the server is there. First, let me bring those necessary files. Okay, these are the two main things: LARM and CKPT. So this is the model. This is basically an inpainting model. Inpainting is the term that you give to image generation or basically object removal. So one good example, mm, I'll just show you object removal. Does it works? Let's see. I don't have an image right now. Let me take whatever I'm typing. Hmm. Yeah, a good one. Let's take it from use this. I'll take from this will be easy. Okay. So now I have to make it understand what are the things I want to get make it remove from. Suppose I say this. Now it will remove the object. So that's what basically in painting means. You give an input to an this model. Okay, I remove this object and it will just remove it from the image. I can also do those in this field. You can clearly see there is two things happening here. Firstly, I am creating a mask. Like I'm creating a mask. Like the model needs to know which thing it needs to remove. If I don't give it an input, like remove this, it won't remove it, right? So I want to make it understand, okay, remove this. So I'm giving two things as an input to the model. The first thing is an inpainted image. Sorry, masked image. A masked image is basically it will have the same dimension of this image, but it will have a uh, dimension particular object. That means cut this object from this image. Basically, it's a basically black and white photo, a masked image, and you will also give this original image inside the model, and it will just compute and it will just remove that object from that. So yeah, I'll create another folder. I guess I have something written. I have a solution. Let me see if it will let work. Yeah. Basically, this is the function in paintings. So it takes two things, image and masked image, and it does all the things and gives you an output image. This is the function that I have written. I'll also write it here. Let me create it. API.py. I'll just other things. Okay, I haven't do API.py. It's already there. Okay, it's already there. Cool. So these are the dependencies. There are so many dependencies, but yeah, you need each one of them. And as your project grows, you will need more and more dependencies to install. I guess if you don't have these things installed in your system, it will probably give you an error. Mine is not giving that. I assume it's installed. Let me close this server. Okay, this thing is installed. I'm starting these two things. For any Python based server, these two basic steps: install the dependencies, create the object of the server like fast API or Flask or whatever thing is there. Just start create an object, and inside that object means use that object to do all other tasks like app.get, app.this, app.that, whatever you want. So what this thing is, I'll explain. Okay, so this thing this thing is called middleware. So what is middleware? So when you connect your backend and front end, what sometimes happen is that your backend and front end doesn't get connected because those are connected to different ports, or even the ports are recognized, those things are not configured to work towards it, because some hosts are allowed, some hosts are not. Those are handled by big companies, like whoever is doing, like wherever is a domain hosted. So suppose you are trying to log into YouTube and you are trying to log in from some place, so it doesn't make you to make the request because it has blocked you from this particular host or URL. So that's how generally big companies uh, bans certain sites or ban certain sets of people. They don't allow their origin means basically your host from where you are sending the request. So this star means allow every person. So if this server gets hosted on a production, any person from anywhere on this world can make a call to this. Whether it will give a response, it's separate thing, but it would be able to make a call. It would be able to make talk to the server. That's what does it mean. If you don't want other persons to just make a call, you can just remove this star and just particularly give his URL. Suppose I want Aditya only to make the request, so I'll give Aditya's front end IP address here, so that only Aditya will be able to make the request call. No one else will able to make the request call. That's how you handle it. Middleware. Middleware basically it becomes a middle thing, as the name suggests. Middle thing. The request comes to the middleware. Middleware sees that okay, this are the set of allowed persons who can access, and I'll allow you. That's why. And in development, this course thing is very frustrating. This You will make your everything, your front end is ready and your back end is ready, but at the last moment it won't get connected because of a course error, and you don't know why. You can't even debug it. You have to try so many things, combinations to fix it. That is a very big issue in connecting these things. Okay. Mm, okay. Base model. I'm simply defining. Yeah. Okay. In this case, you can see that I have given image is string. Can anyone guess why I have given it string? Images are PNGs, right? PNG, JPG. Why I have given string?
Something like blob, so those things in there, binary
Yeah.
formats. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I want to transmit an image, if I transmit in a JPG format or PNG format, it's a very big chunk of data. Sending this over network, firstly, though it is very costly and it's slow. Sending this very big pack. So what we do is generally we use certain kind of formats like binary or base 64. So what base 64 is? So base 64 is basically your image converted into a very big encrypted data. It's very big. If I copy it, I save it, so you guys can see image.json. Still, yeah, you can see that this is a very big thing. Your image is converted into a text string. Now I am not saving this image as JPG or other thing. I am saving is converting it into base 64, and I'll send this string over the network, and this string gets, like, I have changed the image to a base 64. What I have done, I have decoded it. Sorry, encoded it. I have changed the encoding from JPG or a pictorial form to a string form. This is called encoding. So whoever receives this image base 64 string, he needs to convert this into a image. Like he needs to decode it. He needs to take this input and he needs to convert it into an image, or at least save the image. So that's how we generally send images. There can be other practices too, but yeah, that's the most used base 64 and binary. Binary is more secure. So this is my image data. So what I have mentioned is okay, image. So I have to take care of this thing. Whatever I mention here needs to be on the payload, because a slight change, it won't work. It's, let me also just name it to payload so it's easy to understand. Payload.json. This is my payload. This thing will be at send. Hmm, let me just take this song. Fine. Okay, this is the main function that will perform the inpainting task. I have to edit it a little bit. I'll just show you the things, but yeah, this is the main function that will do the basic operation. Okay, since there is no front end tool to create a mask, what I can do is like, let me see. So it's easy for you to understand also. Um, is there any masked image? I can so, uh, let's see if there any available online. There is no tool. Okay, let's use ChatGPT. That will do the work. It's free after all. You can just do one create masking using CV2. CV2 is a library used for computer vision. That's written in Python. CV computer vision. You can understand. Create me a masking tool using CV2. Mm, so let's see what it creates. Okay. Sometimes you don't have to write the code. You just have to understand what it has written. It has imported CV to NumPy. NumPy, you understand. It's a function running create mask. So let's see what it does. Create mask. So basically, if you want to see and how a Python file is running, always check at the bottom how it's running. Even for any other language also, just look for the bottom. Don't get into by the start. Look at the bottom and you can just go up. So that way you can understand like which function is running. I'll just keep the comments there for so you can understand. So basically, create mask. This function is running basically. So this function will run when the Python functions don't run on their own. You have to call a function. So here I am calling this function. This function will run. This function will be called, and it will run the whole thing. So let's see what is asking path to your image.jpg. Like it's wanting me to have an image here. Let's bring an image. Let's take this since it's okay. Let's Same. JPG circle. Okay, let's see. Even I don't know what it will run, but um, no module name CV2. Okay, that's how you debug. Install it. Pip install. What is called? It was there. Why didn't it run? Okay, so it created a rectangle. I guess it should be okay. And there are a few other things that needs to be tweaked. Let's fix it. Lama, color and let me cut it to. Let's see what it did. Let's try running it. It did this again. Let's just cut it. Mhm. It's by default cutting it. Okay. Okay. It created a mask from this, I guess. Okay. And leave it, but yeah, it created a masked image of whatever this portion is. So inside the model, I'll fit these two images. One is this masked image, and another is this original image. And it will calculate the object that needs to be removed. Okay. It just saved that image. No, it has not saved that. So now, if I run it again, it will generate me the output. Yeah, mask image. Okay, do you have any doubt on this? Like, I understand that you won't understand, but if you have any query regarding this, how things are happening, you can ask regarding this thing. Anyone? Any doubt?
Yeah, got it, got it. Yes, I worked on OpenSea, so I was able to understand what's
Yeah,
happening.
yeah. Others? Anyone? Any doubt? No doubt. Okay, great. I know you won't understand, but yeah, if you try it, you'll have questions. No issues. You can ask later also. Okay, this is basically for creating this masked image. So I have this image base64. Let's also create this masked images base64. So I get both the things. I can do it with code also, but that will be hassle. Let me just convert it. It's easy drag and drop. What is the folder? Yeah, masked image. Carry on. I'll just add it. It's already big. I think I two different color. Have made a mistake. We'll see it later on. The basics to is to let me. I guess the data is less in this image. That's why the basics to is also small. Okay. Now this is my masked image. This is my image, and I will do in painting. Okay. Let's first write the route. So as I said, like first we define and dot get. First, just it's good to make a get request to see if your server works. Get slash home is the base URL. Define read route. Uh, I don't have to every time send this. I can just say it's working. It's working. When I will just copy that. So the server. I have what I have. So now the port number is different as you can see. So it will run on this. I can give it any number and it will run that. Not any number, any 4-digit number. There's also a limit. I also forgot. Python, I'll just run it. Oh, that's yeah. Close it. Torch. Torch. Hmm. Ah, okay. It install. So let me just have the someone gave me told me how to do it. Create dev scripts. Okay. I hope it works. Oh, it worked. Okay. I have to install Torch because to run that model I need Torch. Install Torch. It's installing. Okay, meantime it installs. Any doubts? Any questions? Query? Why is it working like this? Anyone? Installed. Let's try running it. It's running. Okay. So my server is running. Let's make a get request. Yeah, it's working. As you can see that it gave me a correct output. So now I can be sure that okay, it's running fine. So now I want to make the okay. So what I want to make is that an API that takes two images as input. Uh, one is that image and another is that inpainted image, or sorry, the masked image. Masked thing. It takes two images, image and masked. So now let me just write the function to do that. Dot post, that's in painting. I want it to be an async function. Okay, it has already done a lot for me. Let me see what it has done. So here, image dot image mask image. Okay, another base 64. Yeah, I have the base 64. Okay, so I'll just make you go through it what the code is doing. So basically, this is the image payload that I'm sending. This is the masked image payload that I have sent, and this is converting. So basically, as I have mentioned before, that it is sending base 64. So if I have encoded this from a normal image to a base 64, so the person who receives it needs to decode it. So that's what I am doing. I am taking that image, I am decoding it. So the function base64.decode basically does that thing. It decodes it and it is saving into this image variable. Same it's doing for the mask image. Then it is opening this image. The image is basic. Now the image is not saved here, right? It is not saved anywhere. It's in the memory. While the programming is running, the image is running. It's in the memory. So the image is open here. I'm opening that image. I'm opening this mask image also. Then I'm converting. Since I have to deal with I can't save the image and I also deal with it because while you run the servers, if you just keep on saving and running it, it is a very firstly it will make the server very slow and it is very time consuming. So what we do is that we convert the image into a numpy array, basically a list of numbers. That's it. Because at the end of the day, images are numbers only. So we convert that image into a numbers, array of numbers. So we take the image and we convert into a numbers. Now we are passing this image to like the both the image and the masked image into the function in painting, and in painting is the function that I have defined at the top, and whatever that function in painting gives me, store it in a variable output. Whatever the output is there, form the array, and whatever that output is convert to RGB. Basically it's channel thing, color channel thing. You don't need to think about it right now. These things are extra, I guess. No. Okay, that's I'm opening that image and I'm let's saving this image. Image dot string regardless value. Mm, okay, let's see what happens. Firstly, let me fix this. This thing works. Okay, and p dot okay. I think this should work. Let's see. This is my payload. Let me just copy. I can also send it. Yeah, this is my payload is very big, but for the machine it's small because that's how they talk in the servers. So post slash input. This is my model. It should take some time because it's a very big model. The model is around 100 M. Let's say. It's 404 not found. Have I made any mistake? See, 404 not found. Everyone has got that error. Let me see what error I have made. 404 not found. It's correct on that. Map dot post in painting. Okay. No. Server is fine. 404 not. Why is it good? 404 generally gives if it doesn't exist. So it should. Okay. I forgot to restart. That's a very beginner level mistake. I still make it everyone. Except now it should give some output. Why? Okay, anyone any idea why it's giving that error? URL spelling. Have I made a mistake in pain? Okay. You should have just opened the mic and tell that, right? I haven't. I shouldn't have tried it. Okay. I hope it works. Click internal server error. Okay.
So
My
the
server.
masking is not done right. String
Hmm?
mask.
String
I think
mask.
so. Yeah, just go to the code.
Okay. Hmm? This one?
I think so. Just line number 55. Yeah, the image dot mask. So image dot image is this would be a string. I think so. We have to give just image dot image will be a string, right?
Yeah. Image dot image will be a string.
So string dot mask is that a string doesn't have any attribute, right? So I think so. It won't be an image dot image. It won't be. I think so.
Okay. Masked. Let me see what I have given. Masked or mask.
Image dot image will be a string. So that won't be so.
I have given it masked. It's correct. Masked. This is img. It's also k. Image.image. This image doesn't need to be image. I can give it any name. Okay, let me see what is the
No, I
payload.
think so. I think
Ah,
so.
okay, sorry,
That
my mistake.
image variable is taking from the above one.
I have defined my class as
Yeah,
IMG, so it needs to be
yeah,
IMG. Mm, mm,
yeah. Now it should work.
let's see.
Should change.
Payload IMG. Payload. Let's see.
Payload dot image. Yeah, now
Let's see. Let's see. It's
payload
all
dot
about
mask.
trying.
Yeah,
It's trying. Basics. Rest all things works. I just run it.
actually, for auto reload can have. I think so.
Yeah, we
Just
have water. I
Google.
don't know why it's not
Yeah,
working right now.
actually, now just Google it shows there's some UV con some. We have to
Econ.
install some package.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's debug now. Okay. Image base 64 images dot image.
Okay, can you keep a debugger there? Can you keep one debugger there on the above function? Just go to the code, go to the code. You
Uh,
can just use the evaluator. Just keep yeah, just keep a debugger in this way, in this function. Yeah, 54th line. From there, you can just
54.
debug. Yeah, we can debug from here. Yeah, we can use evaluator if needed. Yeah, just turn on debugger and you can just debug it.
Okay, then let's see what is going there. Image dot base
So we have
56.
to change the payload dot mask. No, no, need not to break.
Hmm.
Image dot image.
Hmm.
Should it be the same? I don't know.
Let's not, because I have converted into saved into a variable. I can just give that
Yeah,
variable
image.
image.
Yeah, yeah. And then the mask also, we can just give the mask. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Now mask image
Yeah. Okay, now it
image.
should be okay because sorry, we are just reordering it.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, just try it.
Send. Okay, it's taking time. That means it's working.
Yeah.
Let's see how much time. It will load it into the RAM. Then it will make the inference and it will give me the output.
Yeah, I think so. You can specifically mention GPU there itself, right? If you have
Yeah, I
GPU, you
don't have
can
a GPU here, so
no, you
it's it
can
will
you
not
just
start
mention the
working.
integrated graphics itself. You can just mention there. So I
Okay.
don't know exact path of the code. You can say
Yeah,
some
we can do that, but
yeah.
yeah, okay, it gave me a correct output. So can I see? Should save that output, right? I have given the code to save it. Output dot save. Save the code.
Buffer.
Okay, I got the image base 64. Let's convert it into it. Or what I can do is that save this. This output image is in a array format, so I'll just save it. Save this output image. Mm,
No, you can just have a current folder. Don't just create a output folder. You can save there. It will be too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now it takes the in NumPy array. It converts to from input to converts to an image and saves that image. So let's try it. So let's try again. So is it okay? Is it related to study sessions? Yeah, it is related to study session if you study.
Okay, price
Okay.
like is also not image.
Error.
Okay.
Okay. Let's debug it. Since I have CV2, I'll ask it to save it with help of CV2. Save with help of CV2. Sometimes one library works, sometimes another works. So just do whatever the best works. CV2, it's color, CV2. Okay.
So which line while saving the output it's happening, right?
Yeah. So what it does is like it takes the array, it uh, does the color channels, it brings the color channels and it's
Okay.
saving it. It gave an output image. Is this the output image? Okay, my input image is different. Sorry. Understand. Understood, right? I should have given this. I haven't converted this into base 64. Let me just do it. That's why. Okay, 64. Mm. Or I can do another thing. I can take the images from here, make a get request. Mm, Let me see what can be done in painting. Mm,
What you're doing? What you're doing?
No, I'm thinking of can I do it like without converting into base 64? I can just manually give this image input and it automatically converts to base 64 and sends the request. But I'm seeing that for that I need a separate server and it's probably a front end kind of thing. Okay, let's make a different server and let's make it talk.
No, what's the issue you're facing right now?
No, that's not a fish issue, but I'm trying to see if that's doable or not.
Okay, okay, okay.
It's you can do it manually. Like I can go and convert into base 64 and just give this input here. But I'm just trying to see if that's workable or not. I'm trying to make a server or simple Python server that makes a GET request. So make a simple. That way I can also show you how the course issue occurs. Make a simple Python servers that takes two local images, convert them to base 64 and uh, makes an API post request. Make a simple Python server that takes two local images, convert them to base 64 and makes an API post request. Okay, let's see what it does. Okay, it is using Flask. So let's see, one thing is using Flask, and another thing is I don't want to use any framework. Use simple Python request. See, all the things that I have done in Flask or Fast API that can also be done using Python, but that will be very hectic to implement. No result. Why? Mm, That's very stubborn. Don't use Flask. Sometimes you need to be harsh. It's mad or what? Mm, Control, control. Again. Okay,
So it's
leave
just
it,
taking the Flask as import. So
leave it. I can implement that. Uh, okay. Mhm. It's uh, okay. Two image path. Okay. Okay, I get it. So let me just have another server for this. So now I'll show you how two different servers talk to each other. It may be front end, it may be back end, but those are different entities. Those are different servers. So Is my voice audible?
Sorry?
Is my voice audible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. So let's create another server here. Mm, Let me think how its JSON response should look like. Image path, image path. Okay, understood. So, what is this? Oh, simple things. Where mistakes. So for API, it doesn't necessarily needs to be a front end and a back end to talk. It can be a back end, front end, anything. Anything that talks uses API mostly. Stop. Yeah. So the server is running. So it's running on port 5000 and my server is running that fast API server is running on port 888, I guess. So let me create another request. Okay, port 8000. Let me create another request. Port 5000. It will make a post request. This is this request. I'll try sending a request. Not found as expected. So it is a single route, send images. So I have to make post request. URL get JSON URL. Mhm. Okay, I can see that it is asking for a JSON that has two image paths. Is it image one dot path? Image one dot path, image two dot path. Give the path. No, path. It will be a string. Okay. Here it is not converting into base64. I have to make sure that it is first converted into base64. Import base64. Okay. Flask is auto reloading. I guess that's why it break. I have made changes and it broke. Fast repair, it's not happening. Image base64. Okay. Mm, mhm. I have to send this image dot files. I have to convert this into base64. Pen image dot path. Let's go it. Image one is equal to base64 dot encode image one path. So basically, what it does is like it opens the image one path. Whatever I give, it will open that and convert it into base64 and store it into this variable. I don't have to give read. Okay. Now the same I'm going to be doing with image s2. Okay. Okay. So right now I have converted both the images to base 64, and I have to send this over this. So I don't have to open. I can give image one, here, image two. So this is basically the request header. Whatever JSON I was sending in this, I want to make sure this request header, the request payload. So since I am making a post request, this is my payload. You can see that response request dot post to the URL. URL is basically that particular URL what I want to send the request. Now it's not given. Like, let me just hard code the URL. It's basically this URL. I want to sorry, this URL. I want to make it to make post request. So I'll give it this URL. So this is the URL. This is the image paths that I'll mention, and this will just give. Okay, I don't have to make a wait. Just can hard code it myself. Since I am just having this copy path, just hard code it. Like if you want to make it dynamic, you can do it that way. Image two is masked. Masked image.png. So this is my URL that I want to make request to. This is the path of my image. This is the both the images. This is basically checking those things. Since I have made hard coded, these things don't make any sense. Uh, okay. Convert both the images into base64. This is the payload that I want to send. The first one should be image img. The second one, it should exactly match to the payload that I am sending to. Masked. Masked. So this is the image base 64. This is the mask base 64. This is the response function. Like make a post request on this URL with this payload. Files, no, it's should be data. Yes, data. Data is equal to files. Let's see. Line, okay, okay. How to fix this? Let me just make it in this string. Not this. Why is it giving me error? Okay, I guess still giving me error. What's that issue? Let's see. Is it this? Okay. Okay. Now the server is running. Good. Since I have already hard coded these things won't matter right now. If I just click on send, these things will send. Let's see. 404 not found. The URL was not found. Oh, I forgot to remove those conditions, right? No, it's let me make it a get. So get request URL Inpainting. Do these things. Request. I'll just give a print statement. Print is an universal debugger. Wherever you think you can find anything, just print it. Mm, It worked. See, in Flask, it's easy. Debug is equal to true. It will just auto reload it. Let me see. I'll just don't take any risk and just remove these things. Okay, it made an HTTPS request, but it got 404. The URL
The
also.
port number is different. The port number.
Oh, is it 88?
Port number class is 5000.
Okay, it's 888. Sorry, I hard coded that wrong. No, it's 888 only, now.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's 888.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Mhm. Please check any spelling. If you enter the URL manually, please check your spelling and try again. Okay, it's the same. I just copy pasted it, right? Let me just copy paste again. So, nothing changed. It's- Okay, it made the response. It doesn't mean let us see. Till this whether the it worked one. Let's see. Is it not even running?
Just go to the code. Go to the code.
Oh, sorry. Send image. That's I'm sending a blank. I'm calling a thing that is not
Okay.
that doesn't even exist. Send image. Send
Okay.
images.
Send images. Okay.
Send images.
Just send now.
Okay.
IO buffer read. Okay.
Things breaking. So if here no request was made, that means the server didn't make any request. Let me see whether my things were or not. Let's debug it. Base 64, base 64, a byte like object is required. Okay, the conversion. Okay, open. Hmm. I think I forgot to open it. Then I have to open it, then encode it.
Actually, can basics should be direct. That's a direct library, right? So code and all those things.
I have to open the image first, but let me see. Mm,
It's opening right after base 64 in code. There is a open function.
but it's the simple image. See, when you convert into base 64,
Hmm.
it's your image has three channels: red, green, RGB, violet, or
Hmm.
blue. Sorry, blue,
Blue.
RGB. Three channels. So each of these three channels are having in a, what do you say, matrix form, right? 9 by 9. So
Hmm.
everything needs to be first flattened, like bring on a similar surface, a space. Then it needs to be converted into base 64. I guess I haven't done that level. That's why it's giving me that error. Like I have to first open it. Yeah. Mm, yeah. So what I will, I have given the path. I have to open it first, and then I have to encode it. Okay, should it work right now? Let's. Okay. Something or the file not found.
Give the full path. Give the full path.
I did a spelling mistake. It should be masked. I have given masked.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Masked. Yeah, it worked.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's good.
So
It's
the,
perfect.
here also, okay, it gave me unprocessable entity. So
Great.
at least
Well
our
done.
code line, both the servers are not talking to each other. So let's see. Input should be a valid dictionary to extract fields from input. Let's see what mistake we did. Input should be a valid string. Here the get request was successful. So I assume it worked. It worked. I got a response also. And it is saving that response.txt. No, it's not saving the response. So input should be validation object.
Just print
Yeah,
the. Just
yeah,
go.
that's why data.
Let us files right. So
I have to make it payload. The name doesn't matter. So I'm just giving it.
yeah. Just a minute.
I should. Some payload. Yeah, some payload. I'm sending that JSON. I'm sending this payload in this format as a JSON input. Whatever I was doing in this, I'm sending a JSON format to this URL. So let's do it. What
Yeah.
happened?
So Jason it not
JSON is
sending.
not
Okay.
present.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll have to convert first
Yeah.
JSONify.
JSONify. Use JSONify.
Hmm, payload.
No,
Until
just you can go JSONify of Laris to right?
okay, I can also add it to here dot JSONify. It will, let's see. Same error as next. JSON is fine.
Dictate object is. No, I think so. Jason Fayoff, we have to give this one.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, just give the Jason. Just put capital Jason there.
Capital JSON.
Yeah, capital. Yeah, Jason equal to capital J. No, 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 not that. Jason equal to capital J. Jason of payload. Instead of just payload. Okay.
JSON
Yeah, that should be capital of payload. Yeah.
J capital.
No, Jason fully capital. Think so. Jason should be something like that. I don't
Mm,
remember.
I don't think I have imported that JSON.
Okay, should be have to import it, but
Let's see. Is it importable? Import JSON.
no, I have model. I have to install the model, right? Just a minute. I'll check. Just a
No, there is no such JSON. Is it in class? In Python, it's not there. No, there is no capital JSON.
listen.
I guess this simple JSON. JSON. Okay, JSON is JSON. Same thing.
No, you have to
JSON.
go for ipython.display. Yep.
Hmm?
ipython.display will have this. ipython package. You can find this.
No, in Flask also. See, in not necessarily that you have to go do that way.
Yeah,
There are similar packages in different frameworks. So if Flask can also have a JSON, Fast API can also have a JSON.
yeah.
Module object is not response. Okay, let's just give it to GPT. Let's see what it says. Uh,
No, this doesn't work right. Discord.
give it. I'll just okay. My mistake. That should be post.
Post. So
Let's I don't think it should be an issue, but no, this is why it is making the post about. JSON if I payload. It should have worked. I don't see any mistake here.
just run again, run again.
I'll just, I'll just start the script again. Okay. 404 method not allowed.
Yeah, it's git method. Get. Just change the post.
Module object is not callable. Okay.
Which line? 25 centimeters.
Um, yes.
Requested post. Just print the page. Print the JSON of payload.
This one.
Yeah, just print it.
It will be very big string.
Yeah, just you can see what's happening there.
Print. JSON if I payload. Let's see. I didn't print it.
So again, it's not serializable.
Didn't print it at all. Yes, and if I want to work, see, my friend, just payload, friend, payload,
If your
and
payload.json should work, I don't know why it's not working. Uh,
yeah, it's printed. The payload is printed.
Okay,
Image, it worked. This is my payload. Mhm. And it's creating a send image. The next, okay, so it works. These two things works. Response was request post URL JSON payload. Let's see. Ask this time. I want to next. Word. Is it not working correctly? Let me. It's not.
can you show the code just a minute?
Which thing? Yeah, we are
Just
doing
like,
this one, right? Payload JSON, URL
yeah,
JSON. We are doing this testing one.
yeah, just show the code just a minute.
Just add these things. Keep tab. Hmm.
Custom post and then it's don't have headers too, so that's not a problem. So just payload. So, mm, actually, it should go.
JSON is equal to payload. Exact thing like this, right? JSON is equal to payload.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's not an issue.
Let's try it again. Hmm. Header. Maybe headers. I guess that's the issue. They don't make that error. That's what is that is the rest. Content type application JSON. See, same error. Object of type is not JSON. Byte is not JSON serializable.
I send a Stack Overflow link. I don't know what's going on, but maybe it is helpful.
Ah, if that works, then it's very good. Okay. Hmm. That's it. Because I'm just assuming it like this. Okay, let's see. No. Okay, let's see what is that. Object of byte. Last is this issue. Subject. Hello.
Do you use cores your using headers? I used cores.
No, if there was a course error, it won't even have connection. It
Okay,
it made a call. See, it made a call. If it
okay,
was a course error, it would have shown like uh,
okay.
another
Yeah,
report. It said unprocessable, and that means it made a call. A byte is not serializable. What is this byte? Everything is. Mm, mm, is
no, it dumps. Okay, okay. What dumps does is that it just converts into bytes, right? So
mm,
JSON payload. So that's what it's showing us in different times. So if you just give the JSON of payload, gives the JSON data is not serializable. Now it dumps becomes a byte, so it will show us bytes is not serializable. So that's the case
let's
here.
try saving it. Since it's very big, we can't see on the terminal. We can save it. Uh, please. So, is it this left one? Yes. JSON should be a valid dictionary or object to extract fields from it. It works.
Remove the dumps and just directly give the JSON to JSON of payload or just payload.
Okay, it's
It's
working.
working. Working, yeah. It's process given by this GPD. So
Yeah, it worked. Post request 200. Okay, it
yeah,
worked.
okay, yeah, nice. Now we can see the output image.
Yeah, it
That's
worked.
good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Finally, yeah.
it was.
Finally, it
Good
worked.
job, bro. Good job.
It worked. So yeah, so that's how the two servers are talking. It doesn't need to be a front and back end. It can be anything, any entity that needs to do something. So right now I have made the both the servers in Python. So it can be like one I have written in Python, another I have written JavaScript or Java also. It doesn't matter because what it's basically doing is it's processing this, converting this, and just making a post request or get request, whatever the task is. It's sending this information to my that server, and my server just receives this information. After it receives this information, it processes it and it just sends the response. So all the calculation is done on the individual servers, just that flow of information is happening to the APIs. The API is sending back this response to this right now as a status code. Okay, it worked. Let me run it again and see. It takes time, but yeah, it's okay. It finally run. It works. The masking wasn't that perfect, I assume, because it could be the masking. I guess there is some error in the masking. That's why. Else it works fine. But yeah, that's how we can make a simple API based app. So this is basically a backend thing. Now, if I want, I can convert this all the thing into front end thing without making it in the Python. I can just make it a form, make it a web based form. Like people come and just submits the form, like the upload the image, and the image gets converted into base 64 in the front end in JavaScript code, and the JavaScript just made this request in its own language, and the response it will be shown to the user. So that's how basically the front and back end works. I guess for the first session is okay. Do you guys have any query?
No. I understand the get and post request, but I do not understand how the inpainting works and other
Yeah,
things.
that you don't need to understand right now. Right? If you proceed further into machine learning and deep learning, you'll understand how that in painting works. But for now, it's okay to get and post. So get is equal to get the request, get the details. Post is equal to
Mm,
take this information and also give me the output. That's it.
mm,
That's the basically it. If you just basically in APIs, you'll just routes, you'll just write functions that needs to do certain things. And if you understand how to do these certain things, you'll understand the whole idea of development. Front
mm.
end development is a little bit different. There comes the component based things. Those are other things. But yeah, in backend, everything is just this only. You just define
Oh,
functions that does a particular task and return response something.
got it.
So yeah, for a first session, I guess it's okay. And the latest sessions, you can build something and build more upon it. I'll just stop the recording. It's already